There is a lot to unpack with this latest directive from DHS about sanctuary jurisdictions. KPBS border reporter Gustavo Solis is here to help us understand what this all means. Welcome, Gustavo.
Hello, John.
Hey, so why don't you start off by telling us what exactly is a sanctuary jurisdiction?
Well, the funny part of the answer is that we don't know. There is no legal definition for a sanctuary jurisdiction. I think generally speaking, the reporters, academics, lawyers, and politicians describe it as policies that limit cooperation between local and federal law enforcement when it comes to enforcing immigration laws.
Now, how did these local cities end up on the DHS list?
Another thing that we don't really know at this point. It seems kind of silly when you think of who got in and why. There's no real rationale. For example, Huntington Beach is on the list, and they have been pretty vocal and loud about resisting California's sanctuary laws. Chula Vista is on the list. Chula Vista's never called itself a sanctuary city. They actually went out of their way to get a welcoming city declaration, which is slightly different, and even then they didn't renew it, so they don't have any declaration right now. So I think there's a lot of confusion about who was selected and why.
Yeah, Huntington Beach also fighting the state on housing policy, but that's a different story. Where did the sanctuary policies come from?
Well, kind of two answers to that question. One, there's a long history of sanctuary policies going back to the 80s and churches being sanctuaries. But more recently, this wave, the California Values Act, the California Truth Act, they're a direct response to the first Trump administration. If you'll remember, they are essentially California lawmakers recognizing that communities are safer when everybody, including immigrants without status, feel comfortable and confident calling the police. During that time in the first Trump administration, especially up in LA, there was a decline in 911 calls in immigrant communities. I specifically remember, and there's been studies about this, domestic violence calls went down. That didn't mean there was less domestic violence. That just means people weren't reporting it because they were afraid that if they called 911, they might get deported. So in recognition of this dynamic, they made laws to prevent that from happening so that people do feel comfortable reporting crimes and cooperating with the local police.
What's going to happen next? Do you have any idea?
Oh, you tell me. No, it's like with a lot of these Trump policies, right? Tariffs, student visa revocations, the DOJ budget cuts. There's a big announcement made. There are several lawsuits filed, and then it plays out in the courts. I know in this instance, the State Attorney General of Connecticut has already said, we will sue the Trump administration if they come after funding over this. So I think expect that to happen. I think the one thing we know for sure is that nothing will change overnight. I think we need to wait and see and figure out how the courts handle this.
Gustavo Solis, thanks so much.
Thank you.